the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie for your Friday podcast. Kate wants us to get vulnerable today in the podcast.
I love you guys. I love you.
Love you too.
That's awkward.
I couldn't look at you when I said it.
Why not?
That just felt awkward.
Well, saying something while you're making a bit of eye contact is half the battle.
Saying I love you is challenging. Tom used to say it to the receptionist in Brisbane over the phone a fair bit until he flew her down. You'd say it quite a bit. He used to say, I love you, naked in my bath.
No, I don't think he would say that. I think it's when someone does a great job, you can say, I love you.
Yeah.
You are great at your job.
You are great at your job as receptionist.
This coffee is amazing. I love you. Like that. No,
Yeah.
I want to know when you mean it, Kate. That's what we're talking about in the podcast today. Yeah. And how long did a family member go without dropping I love you?
Yeah.
They just refused to do it. That's in the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Lotto didn't go off last night. Ye old Powerball. It was at $100 million. So there were some Division 2 winners. I think they picked up over $100,000 each. But we now jackpot to the second highest giveaway in Australian history. $150 million.
This is crazy.
150.
This is crazy.
Did you say yesterday something about the fact that half the population had a ticket?
Yeah, that was this time yesterday. So God knows what they'd sold.
They'd have to go up to 3/4 now of Australians who will be doing it for the 150 mil draw, wouldn't they?
Isn't it interesting if you think about starting a lotto or Powerball type business? All you'd need is one big lump sum and hope that everybody jumped on board, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
because if you run the numbers,
not
and
everyone
go,
has that lump sum, though, mate.
No, they don't. That's the thing. But if you went, how much is their average ticket? Let's say
if you buy the maxi, it's around $60. Isn't it?
Let's say
if you get all the ones.
The average buy for round figures is $10.
Okay, yeah.
And you got half of Australia. So what have we got? 26 at the moment. 27. So you got.
Yeah, but it's not that easy, mate. It's not that
13 million
easy.
people. It's $130 million.
I love how our chat about the lotto has turned into how he can make it work for him.
No, I'm just saying.
He could own his own lotto.
For their $100 million lotto.
Welcome to Whip Lotto.
For their $100 million lotto, they've sold $130 million worth of ticks.
I mean, I know, I get the business of it.
Shouldn't we be focusing on an everyday Australian changing their life? You know, someone working in a factory. Let's focus on the winner, mate, not you owning a lotto company.
I'm not talking about me owning a lotto company. I'm talking about how you would need to set one up. Because you're changing people's lives.
I'm not going to set it up.
Have.
I'm not going to set one
You've got
up.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. There's a draw every day of the week.
There
Who's
is.
doing Tuesdays?
It's not like there's a punter out there in a pub on a Friday night tonight doing meat trays going, you know what, guys, I'm thinking about starting my own lotto company.
Well, now I've told him how much he needs.
Yeah. That's a lot of raffle tickets.
He needs the meat tray and he's heading to Keno after that.
There are guys down at the pub, though, that know how to sell a meat raffle. That are really good at getting you over the line. And you know how they go, one ticket's $1, or if you get 10 tickets, it'll only cost you $7. You're saving $3 if you get 10.
Bang, I'll take 12.
They can suck you right in.
I wonder if Rebecca Gibney loves a bit of lotto.
I thought you were going to say she ever won the meat tray. What would Rebecca Gibney's favourite cut of meat be?
I will not be asking Rebecca Gibney if she's ever won the meat tray.
Oh, she's a
delicate
eye fillet with beans and jus and maybe a little bit of Paris mash.
The chef has arrived.
What are you, Kate?
You're a lamb chop.
I love a lamb lollipop every day of the week.
Oh no, you're a tomahawk. You're a tomahawk.
No.
You're a thumping tomahawk,
and I eat it with me hands.
Oh, does she what? And nothing else on.
You're only a what if away from a New Year getaway with whatif.com.
Aussies just know how to holiday. It's in our DNA.
Book your accommodation, flights, car hire and more, all on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
I want to talk to you guys about your emotions and how you manage this string of words in your house. There's a story floating around. I think it's come up on Reddit, and there's a woman from America, and she's fallen in love with an Australian bloke. And
why wouldn't you?
Well, I know.
Oh, how easy to love.
Well, she said, I'm not quite sure what this means, but I'm thinking I do. She says he's Australian through and through. So I'm guessing he's a bit, maybe a bit blokey, right? But what she says is she feels a bit sad about this, and she doesn't think it's just her husband. She thinks that it's an Australian trait, is that he just doesn't say I love you. His family doesn't say I love you. They don't throw it around. They don't say it at the end of a conversation when they're about to hang up the phone. They don't say it when they're getting in the car after they've had lunch together.
Yeah, right.
It's just not something that is said very often, and she's not even sure if some of the family members have said it to each other at all.
Oh.
So that's what I want to talk about. I mean, how
is
do
it
you...
a country thing?
What, that you don't say it?
Well, I would suggest hardened families back in the day didn't go out of their way to show emotion. And emotion is something that we're just gradually learning how to handle. And we're getting better and better at it. And I'm saying that as men, as women, as families, as communities. But I think the hardened country folk of yesteryear, if you're brought up on the land, mate, then you don't say that at the end of the day.
Oh, look, I think
you
that's
say, get us another bloody beer.
I think that's a huge
but
generalisation. I don't think it's a country town or a town thing.
Well, look, can I give you an example, Kate? My father, it took him in his 70s to start saying I love you to me.
Really?
So it was never really done at the end of a phone call. So I always would say I love you to mum, but it was never done to dad. And then I did that letters to my mentor, Whip. Remember we did that, and I opened up and you know what? I realised that I was to blame just as much as dad was, because I'm waiting for him to do it. But I got on the front foot and told him how much he meant to me as a mentor growing up. And I said, we don't say this to each other. We never have. But I love you, mate. And apparently Mum said he broke down and cried, and now at the end of every phone call, Kate, he finishes with I love you, mate.
Do you know?
That's such a nice story.
But he said in his family, they never said it. His old man was quite hardened growing up, and Hazel always had a schooner in her hand down at the piano, playing the piano at the beer garden at the Port Lunga Hotel. And then no one really said I love you in the family. So it took him till his 70s before he dropped it.
Does that mean that if you're not saying it within your family, you're not saying it, like you just... It kind of hangs around. It's like a bit of a dark cloud. Do you notice that you're not saying...
I think you notice.
I love you? Does it feel like it's a bit of an elephant in the room? You don't know. It makes you feel so uncomfortable that you can't say it. Get involved if you have any thoughts on this and what you do in your house. Maybe you've never said it to anyone.
Do you know what it is? It's how you're scared on how you're going to be perceived. And this is the thing with masculinity. We talk about toxic masculinity, but blokes they are scared in the environment that they're in. If they drop it, that they look around and either a friend or a family member is going to look at them and go, oh, really? You've just said I love you to her?
Yeah.
But see, I think that they're changing. Times are changing now, and it's becoming more acceptable to do it. But I honestly believe, I know mates, when they say I love you to their wives, the first thing they do is they scan around the room just to see who has a reaction from it.
What?
But when they should be focusing on their wife's reaction.
So they're embarrassed about being vulnerable or something?
Yes,
I've got a mate who says that his dad has never said it to him.
Really? And does he wish he did?
Yeah.
Or could?
But he said, I never expected it or wanted it because it wasn't part of my world. And he thinks it was also part of a style of upbringing to make sure that he was tough enough for the big wide world.
One of these comments on Reddit when I'm talking about this woman who said that she thinks it is an Australian thing and it's bizarre, we don't say it enough, is that with parents, some in the old days maybe, they didn't say I love you because they don't want their kids don't need to know I love them. They need to know about respect. Do you know? So it's saying I love you is seen as a weakness rather than as a...
empowering unity.
Yeah.
Can we get Michelle in Menai's giving us a call? What do you think, Michelle?
Look, my brothers and my brother lives in Narooma, the other one in the Cane Tree Rainforest. Whenever we have conversations, the last words we say are, I'll say to them, love you, bro, and they'll say, love you, sis.
Oh, that is...
Has it always been
so
like that,
nice.
Michelle, or did that take a few years?
Actually, it wasn't until we were probably in our 30s
Yeah,
that it
see?
started.
And
but
why
I
is
heard-
that?
Yeah, I'm the same with my father. Said that for years to my dad. Love you, Dad, as I hang up.
Do you know what's interesting too? I think as you get older, as people get older too, Fitz, and what you're experiencing with your dad, which I am too, is they just become a bit more emotional.
Yeah.
I think your emotions develop, and I think they're sort of moving with the times as well. So it's important. Like Michelle, I love you, Michelle. It's good to round out each phone call
You
with a
don't
little bit
know
of
Michelle.
love. Well, I do
You don't know
love
her.
Michelle. Love her for calling, and I love Menai.
Brooke in
Never
Glenmore
been to
Park.
Menai.
Brooke, are you an in I Love You family? Your family?
So on my side, yes. We're always like kiss and hug as kids. I love you. Whereas my husband's family, my husband's parents were English.
Yep.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And they were a little bit older than my parents. Never said I love you. Never hugged, never kissed. Yeah.
The comfort of saying I love you needs to be something you have to work towards as well. So the first time you say it might be awkward, but the second time won't be as awkward, and you continue on. And then you might even shorten it where it's saying the same thing, where I end a lot of phone calls with my family and friends where I'll just say, love, all right, see ya. Now
Love. You've done a double.
Oh, you do a bit of love thing on the end of a text message. Just the word
because
love.
I mean it. And I say that to my mates as well. I think love should be thrown out there.
There's also individual personalities. Like my two boys, Huey I can still kiss, right? And he's like and BJ loves this about him. You can go up and give him a hug and a kiss. Lenny, on the other hand, he'll throw like half his neck at you.
Yeah. Get away from me.
His neck at you.
Get away from me.
Doesn't want any interaction at all.
Maybe he'll come out the other side of that, don't you think?
I don't think so.
Like he'll grow, and then he'll feel more comfortable in that.
Well, that's
so.
You know what? My boys are the same. Ted's the eldest. He's the emotional one. He'll give me a hug. The only time Jack comes close to me is to fart on my leg.
Oh,
Do you know?
Well, that is a sign of kindness, and that's a love thing as well. Tom did that to a taxi driver in London just to tell him how much he loved him.
Oh, you know what my suggestion
I'm
is?
so happy he died.
Can I get a bit serious tonight, maybe, or over the weekend? Sometimes it's easier to say it in the dark. So, like, maybe when you... and my daughter, one of the nicest things that happen in our house is when she often will sleep with me, and we're going off to sleep, and it's dark, and the lights are out, and we're both silent, and she will sometimes just say, or I will, I love you. And then that's it. And you know what? If you haven't ever done it and you find it really hard to do it, try it this weekend.
Tommy.
And do it in the dark.
Turn the lights off in the studio. I've got something for Kate.
That's it. Also,
say to your wife, I love you. Good
Or
night.
say it
Have
to
a
the
good
person-
sleep.
Say it to the person that's broken into your house to take your car keys. I love you, mate. Take your balaclava off because I love you.
Hopefully they just have such an issue with vulnerability, they run back out the door.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about the strongest brands for 2024. Who came in at number one? Do you know what? I don't know if you've got the theme song for it, Jess, but I'm just so proud of them because I love it and I consider it my second home. Congratulations. The strongest brand in Australia for 2024 goes to the good people at Bunnings.
Yeah.
Do you know, I just, when there's a flat moment in my house, very quickly it becomes, I might head off to Bunnings. It's almost like I've got a holiday house where I go there, but I'm really building the house. I go there all the time. And we go on the lift, then we go up and down. And sometimes just for the fun of it, if the kids don't want to come along, I'll go, all right, I'll buy you a torch.
Yeah.
And they go along and they get a torch. We got a 4 set of torches yesterday. I was there just checking in with the guys. How is everybody? Working hard or hardly working? Okay, Whip.
That's really funny. I like that one.
How many we got working here? About half?
We've got a brand new one in Balmain, but it's a small bunning. It's a small bunning.
Nothing wrong with a small bunning.
No, there is, because I want more selection.
Okay. He's
you know
angry.
what? If I'm looking for a
left-handed screwdriver.
No, if I just a hose, something to stick into the hose, right? I don't even know what I want.
You're back on the gear, mate.
But I want to have 400 different options.
Yeah, okay.
You know, the ones that we have at Balmain, there's probably 8, and that's okay for some people, but not for me.
Shout out to Bunnings. 50 wants 400 options instead of 8. I mean, there's the one in Rose Bay you can go to. Randwick's good, although they've shut down the timber yard, so you got to go out to Tempe. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Don't be afraid of that.
You don't need timber, mate.
You might need timber if you're doing a bench out the back. I'm looking for a couple of quick grips, but my dream would be to have a drop saw. I'd really love one of those. I don't know what I'll do with it. I want a DeWalt drop saw, if the good people are listening. I got a couple of Bunnings vouchers for Christmas too, so I'm working my way through. And congratulations, and I mentioned this yesterday, Tommy. Yeah. The Bunnings hats are now down to just $1.
That's amazing.
Why we're all not being smart with a Bunnings hat for $1.
Yeah.
We even have the Bunnings basketballs, which are behind the counter if you want to get one of those. They do the soccer ball as well.
Not known for their basketballs, Bunnings.
You don't have to build it. So congratulations to Bunnings, but if you could up the Balmain Bunnings from 8 options in hose fittings to 400, that'd be great for Fitzy.
Thank you.
Well done.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I want to talk about, well, first of all, I want to talk about biting. I mean, biting's done as a kid as a defence mechanism, isn't it? But I've never understood adults who bite.
Adults who bite?
Yeah.
Who bites as an adult?
Well, unless it's a moment of passion or something.
Like a nibble on the shoulder?
Or maybe. But yeah, I think kids do it. It's mortifying and can be related to high frustration.
Mm-hmm. Well, a man has been arrested on a flight for biting a flight attendant. So this is where the guy went wrong, and I think he may have a fear of flying here, Whip, okay? So he does something similar to you.
Perfectly normal.
To calm his nerves before... Okay, so he's in Haneda Airport in Tokyo, right? And he's flying to Seattle. Tommy, what's that flight? What are we talking
It's
here?
about 10 and a half hours.
10 and a half hours, okay. So 10 and a half hours, it's a long flight. He's freaking out about taking off, so he has a few drinks. They noticed that he was a bit tipsy as he boarded the flight. But as he got down, the guy sitting next to him noticed he took 3 sleeping pills as he sat in his seat.
Let's fly.
So this is what I would like to... On 13, 24, 10, poorly timed sleeping pills, because I actually would have thought that would have been a good time to take your sleeping pills. He wants to take his mind off things, maybe half an hour into the flight, Kate. He can have a kip maybe for 5-6 hours, wakes up and there's hardly any left on the flight.
Yeah, look, I don't think the issue of when he took them was the problem. I think it may have been the amount of sleeping pills and the concoction of drinks in the airport bar.
Well, see, this is what happened is, unfortunately, they went out on the tarmac. When it got out of the tarmac, they had a few electrical issues, so they had to bring the plane back in.
Oh, no.
But so they were out there for half an hour, brought the plane back in. They had to get everyone off the flight, and he was gone.
Remember your mate? Was it Timmy Boston who was flying to the States and then he didn't realise they had to go past New Zealand?
No, he flew Air New Zealand, Kate, and he thought, I got this really cheap. They're awesome. This is great. I'm going to LA direct. Takes his sleeping pill. Had no idea there's a stopover at Auckland.
There's a changeover.
Oh no!
Whoopsie daisy.
Little old wobbly knees.
They couldn't wake him up, and this is what's happened with this guy as well. And he was so groggy that he's just started getting violent with the flight attendants, and someone's grabbed him and got him in a bit of a headlock to get him off the plane, and he's bit their arm.
Oh my God. Biting is just awful.
It's horrific
because you've given up everything that you know as a human, and you've gone straight back to animalistic instincts.
And the hostie would be thinking, I can't reason with this.
Yeah,
can't.
Dane's given us a call in Cronulla. Inconvenient time to drop a sleeping pill, Dane.
In flying back from Philippines, I took a sleeping pill. We had a big delay there, and as we were walking to the gate, the flight got delayed a further hour. And I'd had a few gin and tonics before that as well in the lounge, and they had to wake me up on the toilet before the plane even took off.
Can we just get Dane off go to cubicle 3, please?
Dane went to the
great
Dane, who had to wake you up though? Was it a family member or a mate, or who was it?
Yeah, my partner and one of the air hostesses at the time. had to knock on the door and unlock it.
It's embarrassing as a grown man when they're helping you pull your pants up, isn't it, Dave?
Make sure you shake it before you're finished.
Okay. See you, Dane. That's it. Tuck it back in. See you, Dane.
Cameron in Mossman, what have you got for us, Cam?
Morning, guys. Morning, Kate. A mate of mine, who's a doctor, came back from England, took a tablet just before his flight, then proceeded to, when he came to on the flight, proceeded to think he was in a nightclub and started having a rave nightclub on the plane. His wife said, James, we're not in a nightclub. Look at this, we've got a life jacket under the seat. And he goes, how awesome is this nightclub? It's got life jackets.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, how
mortifying. Cameron, it reminds me of that scene out of The Wolf of Wall Street where they get on the plane and they're just partying completely out of control. And then he wakes up and he's just gaffer taped to the seat and he doesn't know what's happened.
Oh, so much fun. Luke in Narellan, when did you take a sleeping pill at the wrong time?
Morning, guys. This was a couple of years back. We had all the family over for a big holiday in Sri Lanka. So the uncles, the aunts, grandparents, cousins. There was about 20 of us. And we were setting out for this whale-watching boat tour, crack of dawn. Everyone was just got up, excited to go. My grandma was like, oh, I'll give you guys some travel sickness tablets for the boat because it's pretty bumpy.
Yeah.
Gave us all a pill. Blackout, fell asleep, the whole family was asleep, the whales were jumping out, we missed half of the whales, we had to get knotted by other people on the boat. There's these photos of just all of us completely
wrong pills.
Completely fully asleep, and yeah, it was just so bad, missed out. And expensive as well for 20 people to go on a whale watching tour.
Mate.
Didn't get our money's worth.
So you didn't have travel sickness tablets, they were sleepers.
She gave us the wrong one. She found the travel sickness ones in the other compartment of her backpack on the way back.
She's giving you temazepams.
Thanks, Granny.
How funny are Nans though with their entire... The older you get, the bigger your toiletry bag gets. All of the pills.
Yeah, what do you need? They need those big jackets. What do you need? Sleeping tablets.
I know they do.
And what about those tablet boxes which have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
I had those for a little bit.
I use those too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mel on the Central Coast. Tell us about your daughter, Mel.
She got invited with some friends to the Harry Styles concert. It was the first concert ever, music concert. Was so excited, travelling down on the train, got a bit nauseous. The friend's mum rang me and I said, look, just take her to the chemist, talk to them. She doesn't want to miss the concert. And then they've given her, which she didn't realise, Phenergan. She was knocked out for the entire concert. Miss Watermelon Sugar the lot. They had to carry her out. And everything. No recognition of even going in.
That is...
Did anyone get photos?
They had photos. She was devastated.
Just so you can say you were there. Have a look.
You were there, darling.
You're so lucky that the price of those tickets was so cheap as well.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, that is
good old Phenergan.
For a teenage girl, you could not get anything worse.
That's heartbreaking.
You finally get to see Harry Styles and you're fast asleep the whole time.
I know. If you're going to see Taylor Swift, make sure you travel. If you're travelling, come down on the train the day before.
Yeah. The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hi, welcome everybody. 2024 means Riddle Time returns.
Yes.
Nice. Big, badder than ever Riddle Time. Are we ready to think? This is the part of the week where you need to push through, Fitz. The thinking cap is on. Got an audio one from the old Tok for you first up.
The what?
Ooh. TikTok.
Talker.
Have a listen. See how you go.
There's 30 cows in a field and 28 chickens. How many didn't?
Didn't what?
There's 30 cows in a field and 28 chickens. How many didn't?
Okay, but didn't what? You're not finishing the riddle.
Yes, listen to me carefully. There's 30 cows in a field, 28 chickens. How many didn't?
2?
Where are you getting 2 from? No, there's 30 cows in a field.
30 cows.
28 chickens. Yeah, how many didn't?
58.
I know, 10.
28 chickens? Yeah, 8. They ate chickens. Is that what you're saying?
The answer is 10, yes. You're right. 28 chickens. You are spot on. You both got it. Your maths was outfits, but you both got it.
I love the
Because
irritation in the girlfriend's voice.
I
Like,
know.
seriously? You're annoying me.
And then
It's a good talk. It's the best part of the talk,
it's the
isn't
best
it?
part
I
of the
mean,
talk.
TikTok.
For talking
Discuss.
discuss.
I mean,
where are you at
does,
with it?
where does the algorithm go after that? What videos are you watching next?
Probably another one. Here we go, guys. This is a clever one. When I turn around once, what is out will not get in. When I turn around again, what is in will not get out. What might I be?
You're screwing into something, so it's got to be. Is it a screw key kind of?
It's a key, Ryan James. He's turned up and he's nailed it.
Yeah.
Ryan James. What's wrong? Didn't get it angry?
So when I get one, it's so-so, is it?
Well, I'm just surprised you got involved. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair call. It's
Okay,
the
you got
first one for the year.
All right, here we go.
We got a lot to go.
It can speak with its hard metal tongue, but it cannot breathe, for it has no lung. What is it?
Hard metal lung.
Whistle.
Working on an...
No, but geez, you're dancing in the
Close.
right areas
What's
there,
the
fella.
iron?
Oh, perhaps a chainsaw?
No, Tom. Ryan is closer.
Whistle is correct, isn't it?
No, it's not
Like
correct.
What has a metal tongue?
Well,
Doesn't
it's
it
metal
can?
to make the sound.
A metal whistle has a metal tongue. Has the little ball bearing in there that
Harmonica
whistles.
or something?
No.
I bought a harmonica
Is
in the
it
holidays.
an instrument?
Is it an instrument? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not
It
a
is.
guitar or something?
No, you're not taking it on tour, no. But you might see it in an orchestra, possibly.
Triangle.
No.
A
It can speak with its hard metal tongue, but it cannot breathe, for it has no lung. What is it?
A drum or something, or a...
What are you doing with your hands?
Yeah, what are you doing with your hands? You're trying to give us a visual clue,
was
which is
actually
hard for the listener.
It looked like you were
Try and
putting
tell
up
you
an
what you're doing.
umbrella.
Is it-
I was
Is it
trying
an oboe?
I was trying to tug on a rope.
So,
But it
Pulling the
looked
bell.
A bell.
Bell, Kato.
Or flushing one of those old style toilets where the system is on the ceiling.
I think a whistle would have been a better answer.
The whistle
because it's-
wasn't the answer.
A whistle is nothing like a bell, Ryan.
No, but it has a tiny little bauble in there. That's where the whistle comes from.
just quickly, with Kate buying a harmonica,
Let's not
is
let that pass.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't buy it. Someone else bought it for me.
Are you going to practice it?
Well,
Can
I
you
don't
do
know.
it?
Can you share harmonicas?
Not in COVID days.
Yeah, but have you
Killed everyone.
have you learnt a song, at least one kind of basic song?
No, I haven't even put it to my lips because I know I probably won't be able to do it. And my attitude
Cold
is,
sores.
if you don't think you can do it, don't give it a go, kids.
Motivational.
Don't try.
Heading into the weekend.
In case you fail,
Yep.
don't have a go.
If there's a chance of failure, forget it.
You're not going to Silverwater, are you? Is that why you got
my
given?
God.
Oh, dear.
Mandy and Mascot, welcome to the show, Mandy. First riddle of 2024 from you.
Happy New Year. Welcome back.
To you too.
How was your first week going? Was it good?
What was that, Mandy?
How was your first week at work?
Oh, first
Oh,
week.
I
Killing it. On fire, Mandy. How you going on the sauce, Mandy? You still having a couple of shampoos at 9 a.m?
Every morning. Every morning.
Good girl.
What have you got for us, Mandy?
I've got an easy one for you just to ease you in.
Good.
Right, you cannot come in or go out without me. What am I?
A door.
A key.
What? Was it a door? A greeting.
It's a door.
It's a door.
That's really easy, Mandy.
I told you it'd be easy, but they're going to get hard.
Oh, I've been warned. Mandy will be back next week as the degree of difficulty increases. Thanks, Mandy.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Mate, are you proud of the world records we own?
Well, there's a bombshell here in the studio that I'm not happy about. Now, Tom Ivy's just come out because we own the world record for the most powerful trebuchet in the world. We threw a car weighing, how much was it? 766 kilograms, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. Spot on.
Okay.
We threw it 76 metres with the trebuchet.
76 metres. What's the competition saying, Tommy?
Well, it looks like it may have been broken in March 2021, guys.
Yeah, but tell us what the category is.
Well, the category is the farthest distance thrown by a trebuchet with a projectile of over 20 kilos.
Now,
over 20?
That's different to the category of the most powerful.
Of course it is.
Because you would need to look at the ratio of weight v distance, Tommy, and then break that down. So how far did they throw their roughly over 20 kilo weight?
Well, that's a really good question. They threw it 133 metres.
No, we've got them there.
Disgrace.
We've got them there. Yeah. So they might have the furthest. We have got the most powerful. I think we also own, Tommy, we broke the record for the most amount of cans of soft drink open using one hand.
That's true,
Which was a big day at work. Or another big day.
And obviously you've got the longest Hot Wheels track. However, when you go to the Guinness website, there is a bit of a glaring omission, I think, because it says a new record for the longest Hot Wheels track, an astonishing 751 metres by Australia's Fitzy. There's no mention of...
What do you mean? He didn't even care about it.
He didn't turn up to any of the
meetings.
meetings.
It was my idea. He had nothing to do with it. He just waited for the result.
It was so boring. We ended up using a straight track, straight downhill.
It was
so boring.
He didn't shake the champagne at the end, Tommy. What is going on? Can you call them today?
Yeah.
Hey, Guinness, get my name on that record.
All right.
What have you got today, mate?
Is the hug muncher in there?
No, there's a problem with the paperwork.
Okay, gotcha. I want to talk about Bobby. Now, do you remember we spoke about Bobby was the world's oldest dog last year, celebrated its 31st birthday. Now, Jess has got some photos. Remember Bobby?
Yeah, big old lab, wasn't it?
Bobby was overweight, 31 years of age. He was a Portuguese breed of livestock guardian dog, right?
Was he? Hello, Bobby.
Yeah, and he grew up in a little village over there in Portugal, and everyone loved Bobby. He passed away in October, but he held the record as the world's oldest dog. Well, now there's claims that have come out that Bobby is a shonk.
How have they got an issue? Could they not submit the birth certificate for Bobby?
Well, there's been numerous vets that have come out and said if your dog is overweight like that, it is never going to last that long.
Right.
Older dogs are not overweight. Overweight dogs usually die a lot earlier. So the average age of this breed of dog is 12 to 14 years, and the owner is trying to get through to Guinness that this dog has doubled it.
Maybe the dog had issues. Like maybe it died of, I don't know, was it it must have some sort of swelling in the stomach, or did it have a growth, or...
No, Bobby was still walking around towards the end, but he was overweight. Like, he was eating like a train, and he's lasted 31 years.
I think they make a good point. When you see an old dog, they're quite often pretty skinny, aren't they? And sort of their bones, they're just a bag of bones getting around.
Well, Guinness has launched an investigation into this as well, and I don't know why Wired magazine, but Tech and Culture magazine Wired launched an investigation in December that found the Portuguese government database for registering pets, and it seems that there's no evidence that Bobby's 31 years of age or when Bobby was born. The previous record, now we need to be onto this because the previous record was held by Bluey, an Australian cattle dog who died in 1939 at the age of 29 years and 5 months.
Have they looked into that one?
Well, see, Bluey would have been fit. He's not overweight.
No, he's still rounding up the sheep. Who's the work experience kid at Wired who came up with the idea of pretending that he was busy so he'd look into the birth certificate of a dog that died called Bobby?
Hey, guys, I'm going to go a bit off topic here. Let's not talk about the new iPhone. Let's talk about this shock dog.
Guys, I've got a big one for today. I'm just questioning the world's oldest dog. All right, if you want to go.
Have you got that sting one more time, Jess?
Thanks, Jess.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.